Hello, my name is Preeti and I'm a knitter based in Toronto. I'm here to do my next podcast. So I was a bit delayed in uploading this and recording this, just things got busy, but I have a lot of things to talk about today, starting with my champagne cardigan with buttons. So this was a finished object the last time I showed you, but it didn't have its buttons and now it does, and I can say that it's finally finished. I've worn it out a few times now, and I'll say that the itch factor has decreased a little bit. I do wear like really thick layers underneath when I wear it, just to be sure. Plus it had been super cold, so I needed to wear those extra layers. I think overall I really do like it, and I bought these buttons from my local button store, and literally it is a button store. And I love it. I think they just look so chic. The only thing that I don't love about this cardigan that I kind of regret is that it's so big, and I knew that it would be because a lot of petite knit patterns are super oversized, and that just, when it's oversized, it's really oversized. When it's fitted, it's normal, but maybe it doesn't seem like a lot of positive ease, but when I wear it, it just feels a bit slouchy. And when I want to wear it out, I don't necessarily always want to have that slouchy feeling like I'm cozy. Like I want to be cozy at home. I don't want to be cozy when I'm out necessarily. So I just kind of regret that element of this cardigan, but otherwise it is a really good piece. And I won't kind of reiterate whatever I said about the double knit button band. It takes a lot of time. I was also working on multiple projects. Knitting and purling when it comes to a cardigan, it's just the name of the game. But yeah, overall I do like this project. I don't like it as much as the April cardigan, which I was kind of hoping for, which is why I saved up and collected the yarn and wanted to have good quality, Sunday knitting for Olive, and tried to be really smart about it, and it just ended up slightly disappointing me, but overall it's fine and I'm happy to have it. Two finished objects. One of them, I finally finished my hipster hat. So again, also by Petite Knit. I used double Sunday, and it's just like a 2x2 ribbing, and then you do these fun decreases to create the shape, and I'll put it on for you. Hopefully you got a sense of how it looks on the side. It does have a little bit of that kind of poof, but I do like it. Like I said, it's using double Sunday in the color Poppy, and the color is obviously amazing. I was working on this for about 6 weeks, just kind of off and on as I, felt like it, but the 2x2 process of it is a little irritating. I think I like the Oslo hat better just because it's just stockinette. There is like fiddliness to it too, but I think just the 2x2, while I was also working on another project that I'll show you, the Esther Jacket, which is also kind of has like a lot of knitting and purling, it just got to be too much, and I think I just overdid it. But I'm really glad I have it. Like when it was all said and done, I was really happy to have it. A potential con of this project is the yarn, because I initially did not block it. When I finished it, I actually started wearing it, and I liked that it was a little bit more like smaller and fitting really close to my head. But because it wasn't washed, like I find that all yarn, no matter how soft, feels just a little bit softer, especially on the forehead or on the face, or the neck. You want to have it a little bit softer. So I went ahead and blocked it, and it grew a lot. So sorry, I did not measure it. Yeah, there's a loose end. I didn't measure it, but it did grow, and it's not as tight fitting as it was, but it is a little bit softer, so I appreciate that. And overall, like, I think this is a great hat, and I would potentially make it again when I'm in the mood and ready to do more 2x2 knitting. I guess the last thing I would just say to reiterate is, yeah, you do these fun decreases, create a really nice effect. And yeah, I mean, like it's a great pattern. I do recommend it. So now I'm going to show you my Esther jacket. Great, so here is the Esther jacket. And wow, it looks just amazing. I used drops Nepal in the color yellow. I finished it on Saturday. So yeah, this took up most of the month of February. It is a drop shoulder construction. It's knit with all knits and pearls. And in order to create this effect, you've got to keep track of the number of knits and the number of pearls to create the effect. And you have seed stitch kind of everywhere else. And then you've got this just regular ribbed button band, which I did twice on both sides. And the neck. I ended up doing everything twice, which including Italian bind off twice. It wasn't sitting properly, so I had to do it a couple times to get it right. So yeah, I finished it on the weekend, and then I started blocking it yesterday, and I popped it in the dryer a couple of times only because I wanted to make sure it didn't grow too much. You know how when you wash and knit a garment, it just like increases in length so much, and you really shouldn't even be putting it on when it's like soaking wet. But I did anyway, and I didn't want it to be too big, so I let it, I put it in the dryer for like short spurts of like 7 minutes under a low setting. And now it's like pretty much fully dried. It's not fully, I think tomorrow will be fully dry. And then I can go ahead and attach the buttons. Oh, and I want to show you the buttons. 1 second. So from that fun store where I bought the buttons for my champagne cardigan, I also picked up, I'm trying to find a good place to show you. That's the buttons. I bought 5 of these yellow buttons, and they are very fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm wondering if I should have bought neutral colored, but it's okay. It's okay, we're going for it, and then I can always change it up. Buttons they're not permanent. Okay, so to talk about the construction, like I said, it's a drop shoulder. You're doing a lot of knits and pearls. I was very excited about the project, so I really rushed through it. I ended up killing my wrists and my neck. So this week I really haven't been knitting a lot because I'm in so much pain. But I made the second size. The sleeves they all took some time. You do kind of regular decreases while you're doing this seed stitch. You've got like seams everywhere. You've got like the seams here, you have the seam here, and no, the seam does not align. I noticed petite knits doesn't align either. Don't know why. I think you can probably fix that if you just pick up stitches properly, like if you're kind of paying attention to where that line is going to be and like in the pattern as you're like picking up the stitches. But overall it's fine. And I really don't have that much to say. It was like you really just follow the pattern, and the pattern is relatively easy to follow. Just the fact that you're counting all the time, so you're every row you're paying attention. And by the time I hit the sleeves, I was kind of over it, and I was using magic loop for the sleeves, and that did not help. I think this would have been one of those situations where just using a small circular would have been better. In order to keep track of all the, just to kind of keep the flow, because when you're doing magic loop, you're yanking the needle once you get to the end, and then it got super irritating by the time it got to the sleeves, but I wanted to finish it. The color is amazing. I need to give some time and some like real credit to Drops Nepal, because when I used it for the zipper sweater, I found it to be itchy and extremely warm and like very hairy. And I did have like a phase where I was like, oh, I wish I kind of hadn't used it. But then I went ahead and bought it for this project because I thought like for this project, I was just thinking, for some projects, I just want to use more affordable yarn because I don't know how the project's going to turn out, but I'm excited about trying it. So that was the case with the Esther jacket, that when I saw her promote it. I thought it was cool, and like it wasn't necessarily going to be one of those staple projects, but I really wanted to make it. And so when I saw the Drops Nepal went on sale over the holidays, I thought that would be the best combination. But I'm so glad that I used Drops Nepal, because for me, after washing and drying it and like looking to see how it blocked, this feels like a luxury yarn, and it's not. As you know, like Drops is a pretty affordable brand, but the way that it came out, I'm so impressed, and has just the right level of halo. I don't know if you can tell, but it just, and I didn't use mohair. Like, wow, I'm so happy with the yarn. But yeah, this is going to be a warm jacket, and I can see why she probably calls it a jacket and not a cardigan, because it does have a good structure. It's not like a cardigan that, I guess cardigans feel like they can be a little bit light and flowy, like the Maggie cardigan, which I haven't made, but it just looks like a real, like a light fabric. Whereas this has structure, and like the sleeves have structure, and it just feels more like a jacket as in comparison to a cardigan. So yeah, I'm super impressed with this pattern. This is like a slam dunk for me. And yeah, like I don't feel like I need to beat it. Like I thought the book club cardigan was pretty up there, and now I have this, and so like what else do I need, really, right? So yeah, that's me gushing over this. This will become a finished object when I put the buttons in later this week, when it's fully dry. It just has like a little bit of dampness, and I'm super happy about it. But since I am here, I'll just keep talking about my works in progress. So let's see, I think last time I showed you the Friday Slipover, which I just barely started. We've got a lot more going on now, but we're still working on the back. We're doing the increases in this lovely color. This is using Sunday by Sadness Garn in one of the purple colors, and then I'm using Drops Kid Silk in the color lavender, and together it's creating this great effect. And yeah, this is like ramen noodle yarn because it's been ripped out from my Agni cardigan when I was trying to find the right color match for it, which I ended up resolving. But anyway, so I have a bunch of this yarn, and so I'm just trying to use it up. And so I'm sure that this broken rib will look a lot better after it's been washed, because I didn't bother to wash this. So I guess like it's pretty straightforward. It's knit on 4mm needles. The broken rib pattern is what it is. I think I'm kind of not loving the process of doing increases, because the patterning is a little funky when you're on the wrong side. So after you do the increase on the right side, you've got to you can't just kind of blindly follow the broken rib. You kind of have to do like 2 pearls next to each other, and so that's been kind of tripping me up. And I keep telling myself that I need to go and see Petit Knit or on YouTube if there's any tutorials on how to do increases in broken rib, because I just want to make sure I'm doing it right, especially when I pick up for the front, because in the back it's fine if I don't love it, or if I kind of if it's a bit wonky. But I don't want it to look like that. I don't want it to look wonky in the front. And I don't think I love broken rib. So I'm not so sure if I'm gonna do the Friday tee, which I was thinking about doing with yarn I had in stash. So yeah, we'll see. I'll see when this is finished, but this isn't like a rush project for me. I'm just kind of plugging away, and I'll be excited when it's done. Another work in progress that I picked up again because I got inspired I was watching Two Pearls in a Pod, and I think Paige was wearing her beautiful Jules Genser, and which I got inspired to make because they had been making it, both of them, and then I put it aside because then winter started and there was no need for it, but then I saw hers and it was so beautiful, so I thought I would pick it back up. And it's just so beautiful. Yeah, the patterning is really nice, and I blocked it. So I blocked it over the weekend because I wanted to see if it actually fit, because when it was still pre-blocked, it was like really bunchy and I wasn't sure it was even gonna fit. So I thought, like, why not block it and see how it expands? So I did try it on when I had try-on tubing. It's back on the needles, but yeah, I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited. It is a bit holey because it's just like a single strand of lace weight yarn. So you do have to wear something underneath, but I think it's okay. And interestingly, this is like similar to the color in the magazine of the model who's wearing it. So yeah, but I'm not using Sandus yarn. I'm using a random alpaca yarn that I bought on Etsy, that I just randomly bought 600 meters of a lace weight yarn that I bought on Etsy from a store in the Greater Toronto area. So I hadn't intended of making this project. I actually thought I was gonna make the Elizabeth blouse. I thought I was gonna hold it with something, and anyway, I'm glad that I ended up making this. I think it's gonna look so nice, and hopefully I have enough. I'm not gonna be a long sleeve project. I'm probably just gonna make short sleeves, and I've indicated for myself how much more length I want to add. So I have 2 markers, and like that's the extra distance I want to go. In terms of length, then I'll do ribbing, then I'll do the sleeves, and if the sleeves are like too short, if they look funny, then I'll go back to the Etsy store and I'll buy it if they're still selling it. If not, I will just have really short sleeves. But this will look so cute, like even under a cardigan. Under a cardigan or under a blazer. It looks so nice. I'm really excited about it. And last but not least, I started the Billy pullover, and I also gave it a bit of a block. There's not much to see. Yeah, it's just the beginnings of it. You got the honeycomb, and you've got like a cable, raglan increases, and then you've got, yeah, the front and the back, and I've just joined it in the round, and I blocked it because I was not sure how my yarn was going to, this is also ramen noodly. I wanted to know how it was gonna bloom or kind of fill up some of the holes that I was experiencing. So I've increased the needle sizes. Actually, I think they're on 4.5 millimeter needles, and I went up to 5.5, which is probably excessive. I probably should do it on a 5 millimeter, but my 5 millimeter needles are broken, so I'm just gonna make it work. We'll see. I'm not like overly fussed about this project because spring is coming basically, and I probably won't wear this until like the winter or fall. Although the color could suit, but I'm not fussed. And like I said, I'm just trying to slow down just a tad because I'm just experiencing a little bit of shoulder and wrist pain. But I'm using Briggs & Little yarn that I reclaimed from another vest that I made by My Favorite Things Knitwear. She has like a cable vest, and I didn't like how it turned out, but I thought the yarn would work great for the Billy pullover, which I think it will. But yeah, so I'm just kind of slowly working on this. Maybe I'll do one row a day or something like that. But sorry, the pattern is fun. The project will be beautiful when it's done, and yeah, I think if it like works out really well, I would totally make it in Drops Nepal, like in maybe one of the other lighter colors, because I think I'm just so in love with this yarn. Yeah, so other than that, I think that covers everything that I'm working on. I'm waiting for yarn that I bought from Wool Warehouse because of a sale. It's Drops Fiesta. So yeah, Drops Fiesta, and I'm planning to make Olga, the Olga jacket by Petite Knit because I like the stripes and I've never done stripes. So I've been waiting a couple weeks. I think I'm on the 3rd week of waiting for the yarn. I'm sure it'll get here eventually, but and I'm not in a rush to start it just because I need to relax a little. But yeah, I'm excited to make the Olga jacket, and I'm gonna use like a blue, like I'm using a blue in a blue-green colorway. I'll have to go back and check my email because I can't remember what I bought. It's been a while. But when the yarn comes, I'll definitely show you. But I'm excited to have that. And then I really just want to finish my projects that I'm working on, which is like the Jules Genser and the Friday Slipover. And then I think I'll just see what inspires me. I've seen some of Sari Norland's projects that she's been teasing, like the Vivi pullover. Well, she's already released that one. And then the Vivi cardigan, which she's been teasing. So I'm excited about that, possibly the cardigan. And the rainy day cardigan also looks really nice. So maybe I'll consider that. And I saw that Knitting for Olive is having a sale where if you buy 5 balls of yarn, you get one of those balls for free. And even if you buy 10 or 15, like multiples of 5, the 5th one is for free. I understand correctly, and we have until March the 10th to take advantage of that, which sounds like a really great deal because I was actually just comparing the cost of Knitting for Olive if I buy it locally versus if I buy it on their website, and it is cheaper even with like the shipping, although it would be my first time shipping, so I would get it for free, so that might not be fully the case. But I just wanted to see, like, is there a price difference? And there is, because I've seen some people talk about buying Knitting for Olive online, direct from store, which I never thought of. So that is something to consider. I could do one like kind of decent shop there and then have my Knitting for Olive for the rest of the year. Because right now I'm not too sure if there's anything overly screaming out at me other than some of those Sari Norland projects. I was looking at Petite Knit's Dagmar series, and I'm not overly in love with it, but I'm sure I'm one of those people that if I see it over and over, I can fall in love with it. But like the Esther Jacket really spoke to me when I first saw her, show it on her Instagram. But the Dagmar series, I'm like, I'm not so sure. The zipper sweater looks really nice, but do I need another zipper sweater? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to share. I will definitely show you this when I have the buttons, the yellow buttons sewn on, and I'll let you know how it wears after, a couple times out. And other than that, I hope you're having a great one, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.